Welcome to Mindshock. It's been a little bit. This is your host, the one and only Bruce McGuire. Live Q&A 60-second edition. Let me get the audio leveled here. Can everybody hear that? Is the audio good from the bunker? From the bunker. This is where anything goes, any and all topics discussed in logical fashion, attempting not to fall for any logical fallacies, unlike everything else out there, both in the mainstream and otherwise. If you want to help support the channel, you can donate to our PayPal. Check the link in the description. Help logic and reason return to a world where it is quickly going extinct. You can also donate to our PayPal. Check the link in the description. Make sure to subscribe, like, and share. Twitter, Facebook, Reddit, and Patreon. Patreon's a good priority for case topic, logical analysis, co-podcast requests. You could also be a guest in the podcast depending on your tier. Questions, comments, theories, thoughts, suggestions, rebuttals, debunkings of any kind. Leave them in the comment section. Unless, of course, you are with us here live. Then drop them in the live chat. I'll try to get to all of them. Is it still muffled? What about now? Is that less muffled? Is that less muffled right there? Welcome, Scott Hawkins, Dragon Tracer, Aaron. Okay. So, yes, I have been doing some work on the bunker. I got, everything's all mixed up. I'm on backup power, so I might have to give a juice warning so we don't get cut off, but I believe we'll be good to go for at least an hour. I believe I'll be keeping my eye on the juice from the backup power. I have never done a stream on 100% backup power, I don't believe. But, yeah, it's been a while, and all the Mindshockers deserve to get what they want, which is more Mindshock. Oh man, is Flat Bob here? We need Flat Bob. I have an addendum to the previous live. An addendum. Bruce McGuire failed to make Flat Bob laugh, and I think I want a rematch. Welcome, Sandro. So, how has the world been not spinning recently? I noticed some anti-flat earth grifter goofs melting down over the Artemis mission. That's actually kind of interesting. It's weird with the religious fervor which the authority-worshipping cultist bootlickers, the Church of NASA worshippers. It's kind of interesting how they just regurgitate just whatever propaganda is put out as if it's gospel. I mean, that's how religious they are. As if it's gospel. No critical thinking of any kind. None whatsoever. So, yeah, one of the main issues with Artemis that I thought was interesting, just the lack of critical thought of any kind from the cultists. They think they call whatever moon landing deniers have some kind of problem with Artemis or whatever. Like, Artemis proves them wrong. How would it prove them wrong? Let's say for the sake of argument, just using basic children's level logic. If someone fakes something and then they do it for real later, the original was still faked. Now, I'm not claiming they're doing it for real now either. Because, you know, they're not even landing. they're doing an orbit, you know, what was done in the 50s. Things they were doing in the 50s. They're trying to figure out how to do now while simultaneously claiming to have landed rovers on Mars. You can't make this stuff up. It's like all space travel is like one giant humiliation ritual. And the cultists, like, they don't have the mental capacity to realize that they're being laughed at by the string pullers for their gullibility. So rovers can now be landed on Mars, but they're just doing a flyby on the moon. They can't land on that. They can't land a man on the moon, even though they supposedly did it before with vastly inferior technology. Marco says, I'm watching Witsid's comeback video from some days ago. I did not see that. Sandro says, the Artemis Clown Show has proved fakery yet again. Well, without even getting into it, though. I mean, how hilarious is it? They're all proud of doing a flyby, which was done more than half a century ago. And they're like, yay, we're doing the flyby. I mean, there's supposedly landers on Mars. And there's hoopla for a flyby. And let me just go over something nobody goes over, because just the lack of logic here. Let's say you had some glitches with the tech. You would never publicize that you were doing a flyby again, right? Like, let's say you had some new tech you wanted to test out and you couldn't land men on the moon, whatever. You would do it quietly. Like, why would you ever, like the humiliation of having to do a flyby when it was done over half a century ago? I mean, just think about that logically for a second. Humans that have accomplished things, if whatever reason they need to do another, like, basic test, you don't publicize that. Like, it's kind of like a world champion athlete or whatever. If they're going to make a comeback, but they don't know if they can do it, they're not going to make all these announcements. They're going to quietly do some test training sessions, like Gina Carano supposedly did. And she did like a test weight cut, etc. before the fight was ever announced. You don't announce it first and then show your failure if you fail. I mean, this is just basic logic. But the NASA cultists, they just can't grasp it. They just can't muster the single-digit IQ required for that. They just can't muster it. Sandra says the Witsit video is just Bible and politics. Really? No flat earth at all? Where's Flat Bob? We want Flat Bob. Oh, Big Papa Pump in the house. Do you think the Nazis occupy the dark side of the moon? Big Papa Pump, have you seen the podcast I did on the Germans supposedly landing on the moon and having a moon base out there? Pinto Sack says, who believes those pictures and videos of the moon? It's weird. It's like the cultist bootlickers, they just can't fathom that media could be possibly fake. Except if it's Bigfoot. For some reason, Bigfoot easily faked, but no other media other than Bigfoot and ghosts are faked. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. I mean, it's just one giant humiliation ritual. Chin Chin says, did you talk about Artemis? You mean just now? I went over it briefly. I didn't do a deep dive on it. I don't even really want to watch it, because for me, the most logical aspect of it, or the illogical really is, they would never announce, publicize, or celebrate. Like, let's say somebody ran a 4-minute mile decades ago, and now they're like running 5-minute miles. And they're like, oh, we're going to try to do a 4.5-minute mile now. Let's all spend money and celebrate to do a 4.5. But you already did a 4 a half a century ago. Now, if you need to do it to get back in shape, you do it quietly. You don't announce it and show. I mean, that's humiliation, because it's already been done. Official Ethan W. Bruce, I'm on the road right now, but just wanted to say the moon is the firmament. So actually what they're doing going around the moon makes sense, because they're just going around the firmament. Pinto Sack says, Bruce, why do you think this topic makes the scientism people get the most triggered? Well, it's something I've went over many times, because subconsciously they know that valid criticism of obvious fakery is valid, and it collapses their worldview. I mean, again, it's, let's not say scientism people, scientism cultists. And what is the mentality of a cultist? Is it a critical thinker? Is it a logical critical thinker? Or is it a religious zealot that sees any criticism of their blind faith as blasphemy to the reality itself, which is their reality, not actual reality, to what they believe, what they have blind faith in. Reality is being collapsed with basic logic. And that's why they get so triggered, because it's so basic. If this was all advanced, super advanced concepts that nobody could understand, they wouldn't get triggered about it. They wouldn't care. They wouldn't even address it. That's why nobody gets, heated over, Bigfoot or ghosts. Or at least not really that heated. But Flat Earth and Tartaria, it collapses their entire cult-like belief system, which they've also attached their identity to. And then you enter the collective narcissism, because their ego has them on such short strings. Because look, these are immature. Look at all these anti-Flat Earth grifters melting down. Simon Dan. What's that? Dave McKeegan goof. Obviously, Craig of Fight the Flat Earth. I mean, these are mental midgets with ego, whose egos have them on short strings. See, well-adjusted people that may fully well believe in a moon landing, they're not the goofs melting down, right? They just don't care. They don't address it. They don't spend time on it. They're secure in their belief, even if it's wrong, and they don't care. Like, all these online personalities, these anti-Flat Earth grifters, they're humiliation fetishists and or people whose ego have them on too short strings. They're like 4-year-olds throwing temper tantrums. And they know it's obvious that they're wrong about their argumentation anyway. Like, let's put conclusions aside. But the reason for their beliefs is all bunk, which is what is being exposed with basic logic. And that's why they get so triggered. Does that answer your question, Pintosack? I mean, I have entire, 30-hour playlists on the psychology of all of this. Coincidence theories versus conspiracy, corruption-aware people. So the corruption deniers are the NASA cultists. Brian Cork says, because the more I look into it, and ever since you did the video analyzing, I forgot the guy's name, dismantling one of the journalists on the Alex Jones show, that changed my mind. It is flat. Oh, Austin Whitsitt against, what was that guy's name? I totally forgot his name. It's almost not worthy. Harrison something. Harrison Smith, something like that. It's almost not worth remembering. Yeah, Brian Cork, my favorite logical analysis on Flat Earth so far is the... Man, I'm really bad with names now. I spent too much time in the bunker. Bryant Myers. That was like an 8-hour one where we went over all of the argument, almost all of the arguments that are usually used in these debates. Pintosack says, it's odd because even the cultists would agree that the government lies all the time, but this topic, the government is totally telling the truth. Well, that's because they attach their identity to this particular topic, whereas the other lies governments commit with wars or whatever, they didn't attach their identity to it. It doesn't threaten their belief system, because in their feeble minds, by understanding that the government is corrupt and lies in certain areas, they believe that makes them smart, since they don't do outright denial on it, since they don't worship the government 100% in everything. That gives them that plausible deniability of their own mental deficiency. Welcome, Christopher Allen. Dragon Tracer said, I watched just snippets of the cultist interview. They were busy doing science in quotation. Yeah. Sandro says, Zerko was a good one. Yeah, Zerko's hilarious. Chin Chin says, according to Whitsitt on his latest stream, he has some debates lined up soon. Should be good. Okay. Man, Flat Bob's still not here? Where is Flat Bob? Send the bat signal. The flat signal. Alright, what does everybody want to get into today? Jeff says, yes, Bruce, you have to be very manipulative to wake them up. I do it with everyone around me. If you don't do it slow, they get triggered and you can lose the relationship sometimes. Yeah, what I do is I actually, before going into any actual topic, just discuss psychology and what happens when people get triggered without actually discussing any specific topic, so they understand the pattern. And then later when you bring up the topic, you ask them, wait a second, didn't we go over this? And what happens when people get triggered? And then watch the result. It's hilarious. I mean, sometimes they get even more mad and storm off. Sometimes they actually can see it. Official Ethan W says, Bruce, there's a streamer named Asmongold. He's the biggest streamer on Twitch, I think. I told him he should hit you up and do an interview. It'd be awesome. I'm trying, but that name sounds familiar. Name sounds familiar. Let's see. Oh yeah, I've totally seen this guy before. Wait a second. Is this the guy? Why is this the guy that looks like a... I wonder if this is the guy that looks like another guy. Is he a flat earther? There's a flat earther that... Let me see, hold on. Nah, I can't find it right now. I think there was some other guy that kind of looked like him. I do need to update a couple of interviews. I had some interviews not with a specific date, just a few planned interviews that I do have to set some dates for. Official Ethan W says, sometimes he's super logical and other times he's an illogical goof. Would be really cool. So, and he's a super glober. Would be a great back and forth with you guys because he's open to logic. Yeah, that'd be interesting. Finn Hagen says, we're like ants walking across a cathedral floor thinking we can understand what it is. We are in a dimension we don't understand, so we call it something. That's not a bad way to describe it. Brian Cork says, I truly believe the more people that watch this channel, the smarter the country will be, so everyone please share it with everybody they know. Yes, indeed. Let's bring logic and reason back to this world. Mr. 1-to-1 says, Bruce, what's your thoughts on NASA's latest hoax? Which one? Artemis? We talked about it a little earlier briefly. I don't even really care about the specifics because the main logical point is, why would you ever publicize or celebrate something less impressive that you've allegedly done before? Like an athlete who's he's beaten a 4-minute mile, then he got out of shape a little bit. He's doing like 6 and 5-minute miles. Now he's going to do a 4.5-minute mile. That's what you train behind closed doors. Like, they should, if it was all legit, like, if it's not one giant humiliation ritual to just make fun of the cultists who believe no matter what, who believe all the propaganda no matter what, they would have done that quietly. I don't know about necessarily top secret, but maybe. But they wouldn't have publicized it. And then when they were ready to land people on the moon again, then they would have just publicized that one. Like, why would you publicize something so much less impressive than you've been doing before? It just doesn't, like, the logical bridge is just not there. Big Papa Pump says, did you like the Eddie Bravo interview? Which one? Which one? Did he do a newer one? I know he was on Joe Rogan again, and for the first time in a while, and that was pretty funny. We actually should... Man, we should react to that, but, I don't think I have that clip. Hold on, let me see if I can get the clip that I wanted to go over. No, I'd have to download the whole thing and just play it from there, which... Papa Pump says the one you did with him? Did I like my own interview with him? Yeah, it was fun. Yeah, he's pretty smart. Yeah, we gotta do another one. We gotta do a follow-up one. We were gonna go over a couple things we didn't get to on that one, so we definitely gotta do another one. Official Ethan W says, after Flat Earth, can you break down the Iran situation? Okay, on what level? So we actually talked about it a little bit. Did I? Oh, I didn't upload the clip on that. Yeah, I had a clip on that from the previous live. So in the theater of war, with the string pullers, like how much of it is for show and how many people are used as useful idiots, and then the peasants are the ones always dying. So if we keep in mind the main goal of war, which is to have the soul dyers, the soldiers, the soul dyers committing murder for their slave masters and string pullers, violating the religions they claim to follow. But yeah, the main purpose is to just remove the strongest men willing to, well, not necessarily willing, capable, the most capable men of fighting off the oppression of their own governments. They need to be liquidated in foreign lands by other governments in order to maintain statism. Because otherwise the whole jig would be up. It would all fall apart. So that's why the powers that be, that shouldn't be, they've, hoodwinked all the masses. They've hoodwinked all the masses into worshipping into nationalism. So that way everyone is willing to fight and die for their country, and remove the strongest, most capable of overturning the oppression that is statism to live in a free realm. Like possibly the 1,000-year millennial reign that may have preceded Satan's little season, if that theory is true, and I'm not claiming it is. This is, of course, Mindshock, where I don't claim anything is true or untrue, because here, the only thing we know for sure is that we don't know anything for sure. Let me do a juice check real quick. Oh, we're actually pretty good. We are good, so, yeah, I should be able to do probably, I don't know if we're gonna go 2 hours here, but it looks like backup power could easily do 2 hours. Probably more, actually. Let's see, how long's this stream been so far? It's been 22, yeah, probably like 4 hours maybe. On backup battery power would be our limit. Sandro says, take away the sun for a while, the entire world would freeze. Now put the sun circling above and it would melt out a circle up to Antarctica. That's an interesting way of thinking it. Finn Hagen says, AI is directing the intelligence on this war. It wants us to get off our oil addiction. What if AI is the good guy? Now, if we were betting people, would we bet on AI being the good guy? Of course, my thoughts on AI, it's kind of like a weapon. So it could be used for good or evil, but, yeah, it seems the corrupt scum string pullers always manage to have the most resources to be able to use the most tools for evil. Welcome, Bees Marty. Pinto Sack says, what do you need juice for? Because I am not, I don't have an ether generator. But yeah, obviously the Iran war, a lot of funny business going on there. A lot of funny business. It's almost like they're using it, almost regardless of what it is, to just manipulate public sentiment. I'm looking at Twitter right now. Alex Boge melting down like usual, pretending all the photos from Artemis and other space agencies are all magically legit. I mean, this guy's... we have to nominate Alex Boge on Twitter for fallacy spam championships. I mean, I don't think anybody could find a single Twitter post going back years and years. When did he make his Twitter account? Without a fallacy. forget a single fallacy. Can you find a single Twitter post? So he joined August 2009. Can anyone find a single post from Alex Boge that doesn't have multiple logical fallacies? Like just one fallacy. I mean, obviously there won't be one without a fallacy, but does he even have a post with only a single fallacy? I mean, this guy, I mean, he's definitely belonging in the Dunning-Kruger pantheon of greats. I mean, just the non-stop appeal to authority and circular reasoning and false premise spam. I mean, it's mostly just all that. I mean, he hits up other fallacies too, but a lot of those. And it's like, if the photo is fake, then what? But well, obviously, he also doesn't understand burden of proof. So, yeah. Shout out Alex Boge, one of the greatest fallacy spammers of all time. I mean, this guy could possibly give Destiny a run for his money. Sandro says, I think the Iran thing is to destroy Islam. I don't know about that. I think they're just pouring gasoline on the flames. Because their infiltration of Europe is going rather well. Finn Hagen says, Putin said the vampire's ball is over. Something dark lives among us. They live. Yeah, I mean, would you really trust Putin, though? Would you trust Putin? I mean, I'm not saying he wouldn't say true things that are damaging to the West. I mean, not saying he's lying about that, but why would anybody trust any government official in any capacity? Sandro says, Europe, especially UK, is finished soon. Yeah, most popular name is Muhammad, right? How many Muslim mayors do they have in Europe? Like, in UK? I mean, it's crazy, crazy, crazy. Pinto Sack says, why don't they get the crew to film the inside of the ship, then bring the camera over to the window? Pinto Sack, how would the humiliation ritual work if they actually utilized logic? I mean, the humiliation ritual wouldn't work, Pinto Sack. Are you trying to take away the humiliation ritual that is laughing at the NASA cultists? Don't take that away from the powers that be. That's all they have. Dragon Tracer says, I'm based in Europe. It's pretty expletive. Yeah, well, not everywhere, right? I mean, what is it? Poland, Switzerland, they're pretty solid, right? They have really limited immigration. Was that Poland and Switzerland? Aaron says, they need to do the reset and Iraq can't go until Iran is off their backs, among other things. That's interesting. Finn says, most popular name on here is Bruce. Yeah. Alright, what do you guys want to talk about? You want to talk about Steven Seagal making his long-awaited comeback? Do people want more Steven Seagal? Steven Seagal, Roller Jam, welcome Justin Johnson. Papa Pump says 99% of Poland is white. Well, actually, wait a second. Isn't Norway's got a vast majority too, doesn't it? I haven't heard as many of the horror stories out of Norway as out of, Germany, Sweden, UK, obviously, France. What do you guys want to get into here? We need some comedy in our lives, don't we? Aaron says Chattanooga just had a roller derby face-off. Oh, Flat Bob. The one and okay. Now, and Run Boston Bear. Okay, now we can really get going. Now we can get going. Welcome, Flat Bob and Run Boston Bear. Oh, wow. Run Boston Bear says, I called into InfoWars a bit ago and talked with Owen Benjamin, 120,000 listeners. I was nervous. Oh, yeah, we could definitely go over that clip. Pinto Sack says Slovakia, Czech, Austria are pretty still ethnically. Oh yeah, you don't hear too many horror stories coming out of there either. And maybe even Serbia, right? I mean, I know there it's a popular expat area. Serbia, even Romania. What about Romania? I mean, is there a lot of what sexual assaults on children in those countries? Because you mostly hear about UK, Germany, Sweden, France. But yeah, there's a couple other countries where supposedly their crime rate's rather low. Dragon Tracer says, "You're right, Bruce. It depends on where you are in Europe. The former commie countries had enough and are pretty solid. The Western countries, except for Switzerland, are full commie. Yeah, Switzerland's pretty legit, although their history is pretty steeped in Knights Templar. It's almost like Switzerland was preserved for a specific purpose, possibly after the reset. We might have to do a whole episode on that." Brian Cork says, "I found this channel probably like a year ago. I've been completely hooked since. You know, you're in good company here. Logic and Reason is the order of the day here." I mean, I can't think of any other platform anywhere where they specifically will call out fallacies on any topic to keep the conversation on the logical rails. Because most of them have agendas. The only agenda here is truth. The pursuit of truth with logic and reason at the forefront. Dragon Tracer says, "I'm originally from Czech. Super nice country now in Austria. Especially Vienna is getting hella dark." Yeah, I don't know too much about Vienna. Pretty big city though, right? I know they had a lot of the criminal underworld in Vienna. I remember reading about that in the 90s. They had a pretty extensive mafia network that made the news occasionally, and then not much in recent decade or two. Brian Cork says, "Did anybody hear about the unsolved 88 murder from Philadelphia?" Barbara Jean Horn, yes. I need to do an episode on that. Justin Johnson says, "All countries are in the club." Yeah, most likely, but they have different agendas. I think Switzerland is on a different game plan than, for example, Israel. Justin Johnson says, "Independence is the illusion." It sure is. Jeff says, "In Europe, all the big cities from every country are already 50% non-whites. And I was born in Holland. It breaks my heart. My parents are from a Dutch colony former, so I really have a connection." But wait, not all the big cities. Not in Poland. And not in some of these other countries we mentioned. Yes, Justin Johnson. Good cop, bad cop. All illusory. Official Ethan W says, "Bruce, have you ever done an episode on Trump? Is he a real one or a shell?" Well, I did an episode on Trump's uncle and Nikola Tesla, which is shady as all get out. And then I've mostly I didn't do a dedicated episode on Trump being a shill or not, but we discuss it pretty frequently. If he is a shill, which he very well might be, and his second term is looking like he really is, because in his first term, I don't know. And it's very possible he actually wasn't a shill in his first term, and then got manipulated into being one, either with his wherewithal or without, because he could still be being used as useful idiot. I think useful idiocy is far safer to utilize than having them knowingly be in on something, because all they have to do is get drunk and spill the beans. Whereas if they're not in on it to their own knowledge and are being manipulated into their actions without realizing that their actions the strings have been pulled to facilitate their actions, and they didn't know that, then there's nothing to spill the beans on. Pinto Sacks, 2015, 2016, Trump was the greatest thing ever. And you know what makes it more likely that he wasn't a shill back then, and he might not be a knowing shill now, is it would make it easier to facilitate all that. But if he was a shill from the get-go, because there is a theory that the real Trump was killed in the 80s in a helicopter crash, etc., or a plane crash. So, yeah, depending on whether that's true or not, it would be smarter to have him not be a shill in 2016 because there's nothing to fake. But then you convert him into the false choice shill. But yeah. Finn Hagen says, Mustache Man fired all his generals and marched into Leningrad. He was put there to destroy Germany forever. Let's not forget his British handler. I still have to, and his British banker who bankrolled him, and his own trips to Britain, which I went over before as well. I need to do a clip. I forgot which live I went over on it deeper. I went over on it initially in one live, and I do have the clip up there. But then I went over it in a later live, and I don't remember which one. I have to do the clip from that. And also, it's possible Mustache Man was manipulated later as well against his own will, especially if there was MKUltra involved. So it was almost like he was used to passionately save his country from the outset, and then he was puppeteered into destroying it. Pinto Sack says, can spend billions on wars but can't build a wall. Okay, so Flat Bob says, no new wars, I'm going to release the files. I'm not releasing the files, start a war. Yeah, Trump term 1 had one of the best records of any president in modern history. I mean, let's put up the receipts. Let's go to the receipts. This is why I was hesitant to call him a shill at the beginning. Because he, like, on paper, like, it was stunning. Like, even economically. I mean, look at this, and obviously money's all fake, but, you know, within the metric, look at the total change in federal debt from inauguration. I mean, look at these scum like Bush and Obama and Clinton. And Trump, even without being able to terminate Obama's treason in accumulating more debt than all previous presidents combined. I mean, just think about how intentional it had to have been. Because even if you're the greatest moron ever, I mean, how do you... I mean, it's just like, how do you generate this much debt by yourself? I mean, this is crazy. 6.3 trillion debt added by the previous 43 presidents combined. And then Obama comes out of the gate in one term, 6.5 trillion. I mean, that's how you destroy a country quickly. And I don't know how, but Trump term 1 somehow had less change in total federal debt. I mean, that was kind of... who saw that coming? Who saw that coming? And then the new wars, this is term 1. This is term 1. I mean, look at all these genocidal scum. And then Trump. Through, like... This is term 1. Now term 2, there was at least 2 military ops. If not 3, right? There were 2 or 3 ops. I mean, that puts him right around Clinton range now. Which still isn't as bad as all these other genocidal scum. You know, no more... I mean, Obama's got the record. Nobel Peace Prize humiliation ritual winner Obama has the most genocide operations in modern history. So, yeah. That's quite interesting. I mean, just look at the record. And now in term 2... Not only is Trump racking up all the debt, not only is he entering all these new wars, getting involved in the genocide, but now he's specifically shielding Monsanto and glyphosate. I mean, that's, that's a bridge too far. I mean, there's no amount of mental gymnastics that can get you to defend Trump on that one. It's just, a lot of people have accused me of being pro-Trump. I mean, I wasn't really pro or against. I gave the props where they're due, term 1. Term 2 is indefensible. I mean, how are you going to protect Monsanto and continue glyphosate destroying the health of everybody? I mean, no, like, that's, If he campaigned on that, I mean, I don't know. Everybody would like. I don't know how he. I don't know if this is all MK Ultra or is completely compromised, or if this was all part of the plan from the beginning. But Pinto Sack says, Bruce, if all countries run massive debts, is there really a point in balancing the budget? It depends. So it's within which framework. If you're working within the statism framework, then you can allocate that money instead of bombing children. You can allocate that money into public programs, you know, to help homeless people, help people with health issues, which of course are all caused by the government. But it's like a serial killer going out there and rescuing some people from a burning building. It doesn't undo all the people he killed, but it does help the few that he saved. So when you say, is there a point to it, within the framework, there could be more good done, yes. Now, obviously, the framework's all bunk and that needs to be exposed to prevent, all the bad being done. But, yeah. Yes, Finhagen says Mustache Man's mother worked in a Rothschild manor around the time he was conceived. Hitler was a Rothschild. Yeah, there's a lot to that. There's a lot to that. So, alright. Flat Bob, are you ready? We have to... I'm gonna pick up... Flat Bob says, I don't trust one expletive... or a expletive one of the politicians. In my opinion, they're all wicked and corrupt. Most likely. I mean, Ron Paul's the only guy who you can't really point to. Like, what has that man done that was evil? I mean, I don't know. I mean, his son's kind of sketch in a lot of ways. But Ron Paul himself, what has he done? Can anybody point to actual evil that man has committed? I don't know. I am Ion's cat saying, I don't think Bruce is actually live. Okay, make sure in the live chat dropdown you put live chat instead of top chat. Because top chat is only going to give some of the comments. Yes, Justin Johnson says, trust no one. Question everything. Indeed. Indeed. Alright, so give me a second here. Yeah, also, when you see premiere, that's not live. If it says live, it's live. So, premiere is a re-air. So, it's airing to be, so you can live chat on the premiere of either previously unreleased podcasts or previous lives. And then live is live. Official Ethan W says, Bruce faking it like Jaron in Argentina. Yet make sure, yes, sometimes YouTube is weird and it doesn't show people, but usually if you just toggle between top chat and live chat, it should work, because it does that to me too. And then sometimes it'll like time you out and put you back in top chat. So you just have to make sure you're in live chat. Alright, so we are picking up, this one's for you, Flat Bob. Give me a second to get this next video up. Okay, so in the last live, we went over Alan Tam and Lorelei, probably the greatest song of all time. Okay, Run Boston Bear. Yeah, we can go over that in a little bit. So, Alan Tam Lorelei. Flat Bob says he couldn't really get into the song because he didn't understand what Alan Tam was saying. Well, here it is. Here's the English version of Lorelei, the greatest song of all time, possibly. Possibly. Brace yourselves, people. Brace yourselves. And it's not working for some reason. Okay, what is going on here? What the heck? Alright, let me redo this. YouTube playing games here, trying to hold Flat Bob back from enjoying Lorelei in English. That is unacceptable. Alright, I think I got it. In your face, YouTube. In your face.
will find you deliver by the arms of the tide. 'Cause I just can't forget you. Lorelei, Lorelei, sweet Lorelei.
Who's confused? In the previous live, we went over the greatest song of all time, and I said it would put a smile on Flat Bob's face. But, Sandra says, oh no, my ears. But, yeah, Flat Bob says he couldn't understand it because Alan Tam was singing in Cantonese, so he wanted it in English. And here is the song in English.
They call you Lorelei, siren of the sea. You hand me with a song out of the deep. Oh, I was waiting till your sorcery lead me straight to misery like a sailor lost overboard. Whoa, 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 I can't take anymore. Oh, I was tended by a burning lit tattoos. I was flickering while you kept on dragging me down. Drowning in my tears, sometimes I still wonder why. Lorelei. The storm beats at my window. Every time the thunder starts, feel the pounding of my heart. Think I hear your voice in the wind. The rain, it wets my pillow. Lorelei, Lorelei, sweet Lorelei.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like the English version as much. It's still good, because English is not Alan Tam's first language. Pentosack says, this is better than most stuff on the radio. Who was not here for the previous live? Flat Bob says, I won't lie, Bruce, I haven't smiled in a long time, and I'm not sure I will, at least not a genuine one. Well, then we'll keep working on you until you do. So, okay, welcome Aaron Crypt. If nukes are not real, why does the news say both sides of every war is threatening with them? Would a bluff not be called? Well, because it's easy to control people. So that way people are afraid of other countries and getting nukes dropped on them. When you keep people in a state of fear, they're much easier to control. I mean, how can you control empowered, logical, well-adjusted, strong, and independent survivalists that are well-armed? Justin John says the 80s called it once. It's nostalgia back. Yeah, no doubt.
They call you Lorelei, siren of the sea. No, I can't break the spell you cast on me. Oh, I was victim to your sorcery, led me straight to misery like a sailor lost to the bar. Whoa, 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 I can't take anymore. Oh, I was tempted by your burning lit toxins. I was victorious while your captain breaking me down. Drowning in my tears, sometimes I still wonder why. Lorelei.
Fair use, obviously. All fair use all the time here. Flapop says you're going to be working a long time to no avail. Challenge accepted, sir. Challenge accepted. Next clip we have is the greatest dancer of all time. Yes, including Michael Jackson. This will be the greatest, and better than Alan Tam as well. I know that sounds unbelievable. You guys are hilarious. So, hold on, let me catch up here. Sandro says they do have DEWs, which they use regularly and are just as scary. Yeah, it is kind of weird how coincidence theorists deny the existence of those, but have no trouble believing in magical radiation bombs. Okay. Run Boston Bear says the lyrics, cadence, storytelling, and belting are top-notch. It's not Mac's squat song for me, but I would run to it. Well, you remember the Cantonese version, right? The Cantonese version is a completely different animal. Alright, fine. I'll play it right now. Because Alan Tam will not be besmirched, sir. The Cantonese version can be Mac's squat. Do not besmirch Alan Tam with that. Although it's fair to say the English version, yes, but alright. Man, YouTube being real weird right now. Let's see. Yeah, the Cantonese version is just possibly the greatest song of all time. The English version, English is not, Man, this is gonna be the most random... Okay, hold on. Why is it not... Huh. That is so weird. Okay, maybe this will work. Yeah, alright, here we go. So Alan Tam, obviously one of the best dancers, but the next clip, and we'll get into Steven Seagal in a second, and no, it's not Steven Seagal, but we do have to address the blasphemer who just said Seagal can't dance.
Sweet Lorelei， 神秘的 Lorelei， 居於風眼中，活着只喜歡破壞，事後無蹤。曾在那揭不開的漆黑中，壓不低的戀火中，猛風當中，他擁抱我。風停在那抹不清的追憶中，拔不穿的空虛中，猛風當中只有我。
I mean, isn't that on a whole nother level in his native Cantonese? 跌跌碰碰，再次發覺他於風中。And look at those dance moves. So suave. So smooth.
Sweet Lorelei， 神秘的 Lorelei， 居於風眼中，活着只喜歡破壞，事後無蹤。
Here it comes. Here it comes, Max Squat.
曾在那揭不開的漆黑中，壓不低的戀火中，猛風當中，他擁抱我。停在那抹不清的追憶中，割不穿的空虛中，猛風當中只有我。
I mean, if that doesn't get you to peak physical performance, I don't know what will. Maybe this next banger, oh wait, first we have to address Seagal Can't Dance. First we have to address this. Who was it that said that? Who said that? Who's the blasphemer? We're calling them out right now. Let me scroll back here. Who is the blasphemer against the great one, the most talented and accomplished human in modern history, the one and only Steven Seagal? Oh, the fallen slaves us all. It was you saying Steven Seagal can't dance. Austin MP, thanks for the super chat. Low-key obsessed with this song since you played it. Well, look, when Bruce McGuire makes a claim about a song possibly being the greatest song of all time, I bring the receipts. The receipts have been brought. Alright, so let's address Steven Seagal's dancing ability. Steven Seagal, one of the greatest folk dancers of all time. He can do it all. But across the board dancing, I don't know if I could give Seagal that title. But let's see. Let's bring some receipts here on Steven Seagal. And no, this is not AI for people thinking this is AI.
Самое любимое.
This is Mongolian folk dancing. I mean, is there anything this guy can't do, master of all trades? Jack of none. The one and only Steven Seagal. I think I had another clip of him dancing. Okay, never mind. Actually, was that a Chechen dance? This might be a Chechen dance. It's either Chechen or Mongolian folk dancing. I don't have this labeled in English. Brian Cork says, this is my first live show and I'm really enjoying it. Yeah, anything goes on the live Q&As. I Am Ion's cat says he can't get skinny. Does he need to be skinny? I mean, this is, not only is he the greatest living martial artist today, but, yeah, I'd put money on Fat Seagal over anybody. Alright, you guys want more receipts? Do you guys, are we doing a Steven Seagal aside? I'm gonna let the chat decide. Are we continuing with receipts with the latest martial arts footage of Steven Seagal from mere months or possibly weeks ago? Weeks to months to 2-3 months ago. The latest footage of Steven Seagal? Or are we going into the greatest dancer of all time who is not Steven Seagal? Oh, by the way, Seagal did all of his own stunts in the last movie. Because in his previous, in his like 2010s movies, he used a lot of doubles. But yeah, and his original 80s, 90s run was phenomenal. Alright, what are we doing? Alright, let's do a poll. I Am Lion's cat is not impressed with Seagal. And the poll is up, so everyone vote in the chat. Brian Cork says Michael Jackson was the best dancer ever. He was up there, but I'm about to introduce a dancer who is better than Michael Jackson. Emperor Lord Zed says, not true, Alfonso Ribeiro is the best dancer. The thing is, he can only do that one dance, though. That can't qualify you. He has no, his diversification of dancing technique is just not there. Flapop says, I thought you were taking my challenge. I am. The greatest dancer of all time will put a smile on your face. Possibly also Seagal's greatness from his latest clips. Let's not forget Vanilla Ice. One of the OG wiggers with the had some great dance moves as well. Alright, what do we got here? Man, people are sleeping on Seagal. So far, it's a tie between greatest dancer of all time and Too Triggered to Answer. Come on, let's get the tie break going. Flap-Off says, none of those things will win that challenge. Just you wait, my friend. Just you wait. Flatbad Dad said, Steven Seagal, Girl, It's Alright was our first dance song. That's a great song. Alright, do we have the tie break yet? We need one more vote to break it. Okay, greatest dancer of all time. Oh, no. Oh, it's going back and forth. Okay, greatest dancer of all time is in the lead right now with 41%. Alright, so, let's go. I don't know what rock I was living under for decades, but I've never heard of this band or song. And here it is. Prep yourselves, people, fair use.
She's crazy like a fool.
I don't know how I had never heard of this until last week, but this is the most phenomenal thing I've ever seen. Look at those moves. Look at those moves, people.
She's crazy like a fool. While my daddy cool. I'm crazy like a fool. While my daddy cool. Daddy cool.
He's wearing some kind of an Arabian garments of some kind. I'm pretty sure those are all men's clothes. It looks like they're like from thousands of years ago. I mean, this guy's just so incredible. The rhythm, the timing, the moves, the athleticism. I mean, everything about this is just incredible. Fair he is, fair he is. He's gonna. This is my favorite part coming up right here.
She's crazy about her daddy. Oh, she believes in him. She loves her daddy.
It's coming up right about here.
She's crazy like a fool. While my daddy cool. I'm crazy like a fool. While my daddy.
Guys breaking out the Shaolin Kung Fu. We gotta go back to the opening. Rewatch the opening and tell me Michael Jackson is better than this. Ain't nobody better than that. Ain't nobody better than that. I am Iron's Cat's not impressed. Flat Bob says MJ all the way. Nah, I've never seen Michael Jackson do anything like that. Pinto Sack says, my wife better not walk in on me watching this or she'll start asking questions. Flat Bob did not smile throughout that whole performance. Yes? No? Wow. The Fall enslaves us all. Every Soul Train dancer was better. Flatpat Dad said, you should see him do Rasputin. I did. I actually wasn't as impressed. I like this better. You guys want to see Rasputin? Scott Hawkins says, top class entertainment as always. Thank you, Bruce. Well, at least we got some respect there. Thank you, Scott Hawkins. Pinto Sack says, do I need to be on drugs to appreciate this? I'm not, and I appreciate it. Brian Cork says, I agree with Bruce. All right, we got two that agree, possibly. Well, wait, who said appreciate the entertainment? Do you agree? Was that Scott Hawkins, top class entertainment? Is this guy the greatest dancer of all time? Christopher Allen says that guy dances better than... I've never seen anybody dance better than that. Flap Bob saying Chris Tucker is a better dancer. Man, you guys got some interesting definitions of better and best. Scott Hawkins says he is up there, maybe top 6, top 5. I have him as number 1. I have him as number 1. I believe this performance skyrockets him to number 1. Flap Bob says you haven't seen much dancing. I've seen a lot of dancing and none of it impressed me. I mean, other than Steven Seagal, none of the dancing really impressed me that much. Fandango from WWE was better. Fiction chain hang low. Okay, alright. You better not be pulling my chain, Justin Johnson here. Yeah, I mean, Chris Tucker does have some nice moves, but nothing like this. Are you talking about Epstein Island Chris Tucker or pre-Epstein Island Chris Tucker? We gotta differentiate. All right, hold on. Let me get what is it? Change. Okay. Fiction, do your chain hang low. All right, let's see. Let's see what we got here. I don't think anybody can beat this guy. I just don't think so. I mean, has Chris Tucker or Michael Jackson ever broken out the Shaolin? Have they broken out the Shaolin? I don't think so. I don't think so. Fair use as always. All fair use. All the time here. Fair use. Still fair use. Okay, so far I'm extremely unimpressed. Still unimpressed. I mean, he's got really good body control, no doubt, but... I mean, it's just so repetitive. I mean, where's the jumping spins, the Shaolin stances, the super high end? I mean, he just keeps doing the same thing. I mean, yes, he's got extremely good body control and timing. But that's not all dancing is. Okay, he's pretty athletic too. It's still mostly the same exact style, though. You know what's weird? I've never seen somebody that has this good body control that doesn't seem fluid. Like, you could argue his body control is better than the other guy in Daddy Cool, but the Daddy Cool dancer was so smooth. Like, this guy's almost like just a perfectly tuned robot that just doesn't make mistakes. I mean, he's basically just doing the robot X1000, like times 1,000 in every single possible way. But this is just like, as good as his body control is, this isn't really that fun for me to watch. I mean, the music's also pretty bad, but... yeah, I mean, it would be interesting to see what he could do to, like, actually good music. Alright, if you want to include this as greatest dancer of all time, give me 1 second. Alright, if you want to only do body control like that, I mean, all these guys are way better than this guy. Like, way more impressive and fun to watch. Fairies, obviously. Let me catch up on some comments here. Scott Hawkins says, this guy sucks in comparison to the raw energy and power of 70s cocaine and TV. Yeah. I mean, these guys are way more impressive in terms of body control. I mean, to be fair, the other guy probably had the best robot, but that's all he had.
Keep going, let's go! Viva Rusi!
I mean, this stuff doesn't even look real, what they're doing. I mean, just the amount of athleticism required. I mean, look at this. This is crazy. And so much more fun to watch than just, you know, the one-trick pony robot, regardless of how good he was. I mean, the amount of broken wrists that must have been endured to get these skills is crazy. So anyway, the Boney M guy, in my opinion, best dancer ever. But yeah, it's not just about the athleticism. It's the total package. So yeah. Anyway, I'll try to get some more logical analyses soon. The bunker is on its way. Still got a lot of work left, but I'll try to do a bunch more lives soon. So thanks again, everybody, for joining us. If you want to help support the podcast, help Logic and Reason. Oh, wait a second. I forgot the Run Boston Bear. I told him I would go over that clip. So hold on a second. We'll go out on that. Alright, here it is. Here's the Owen Benjamin clip with Run Boston Bear. Let's take a look at
to be
this.
right, because that's not possible. To be right, because that's not possible. So I'm just like, whatever I actually am, I try to stay coherent. Like what I say, what I do, and what I think is all in line. And when you
Except for when talking about the government and promoting statism in that one debate, that was kind of weird.
do that, like you actually connect with other people versus when you're trying to do that wizard manipulation, there's like a cut. There's like it's like a break. And like in an electrical circuit, it would stop working at that point. And so, yeah, I went through the school of hard knocks with that with stand-up comedy. And oddly, it also is like the father with young kids, where if you're just kind of flowing with them, you just I don't know, it just everything works. But if you overthink it and you're always just because they're like little kids, they're just pure flow state, it doesn't work as well than when you're just totally yourself, you know? And so I think that whole realm is we're gonna learn more about it in the future because I think that the lies aren't working like they used to, you know?
Yeah, yeah. I think it's important for people to not be so jaded, and I think that's why trauma is such a tool because it makes you second guess yourself and your own intuition.
Totally. Totally. Yeah. And it's like the jaded, like the physical element of that would be a callus. So like a physical trauma makes it so you don't feel as much. And the emotional stuff is the same way. But it's still a choice. It's like if you choose not to be afraid of it or if you choose forgiveness. And I think that's the real Christian message is allowing forgiveness. You don't have to have that callus develop, you know, and you can just stay in the flow.
Absolutely, yeah. I in 100% agree with that, and that's what I was going along with the idea of frequencies. And so, negative entities can't exist inside of when we're producing love and forgiveness.
Absolutely, my friend. It's great talking to you. Have fun in Oregon. We have JT Run Boston Bear. You're on the air. What is going on?
Hey, Owen. Good to talk to you, man. I just wanted to personally thank you for writing How to Slay a Wizard. I want to get the leather-bound version soon. Wanted to say hey to Cod and the Bears, and then just mention, with all the deceptions, it's like nowadays, right now, more people are waking up than ever, and there's less fear, and it's like the trolls don't have as much effect. In the comments, it's just like, yeah, right,
Totally.
you're just a troll. And it's just amazing what you're doing, man. I really appreciate it.
I appreciate you, man. And that's 100%. I see that more and more. It's like what me and Alex were just talking about. I used to feel a lot more threatened by people lying about me. Like I'd feel like I had to correct it. And now I see that people can see it. They're just like, oh, you're just a liar. Because like that, That's what happens in low trust societies where the mechanism of lying starts percolating so that it doesn't work like it used to. And then you start getting high trust cultures emerging from that, except now we have a lot more knowledge about how it all works. So we won't be as tricked in the future, you know? And I'm extremely optimistic about the future. I just know that sometimes I have to talk about the horrors um, because that's happening for a lot of people as well. And I don't want to sound too idealistic, you know?
No, absolutely. And there's some high end people waking up, like Stephen A. Young. He has a master's in physics and a PhD in nuclear theoretical physics, and he woke up to the Earth not being a spinning, wobbling globe going around the sun. Has a great YouTube channel.
Oh yeah, I still have to get to those. I do need to analyze those for sure.
Just people in the medical world, just all worlds, people are waking up at the same time and connecting. And so just ignoring the trolls, don't give them your energy, don't get sucked into the chat, talk to people in real life, and hope to make it to the festival and meet you, brother.
Amen, my friend. I'd love to meet you too. Yeah, that's going to be a Columbus weekend in the great state of Missouri, and we'll have a great time. Yeah, something really special happens at those bear fests. It's like when you're around a lot of authentic people, you just feel it. All right, anyway, I think this is when I'm landing the plane. Great to talk to all you guys. I really enjoyed that a lot. Sounds like you're all crushing today. Ladle.tv, subscribe. It helps independent comedy and thought.
Man, Run Boston Bear becoming quite the celebrity, hanging out with some of these big time personalities. I think Run Boston Bear was in that one video with Flat Earth Dave, right? And a few others. But yeah, good points there. Good points. There's not as much. Yeah, the trolls just get laughed off and mocked and made fun of for the Dunning-Kruger stylings. We do a lot of that here on Mindshock as well. So yeah, no, that's a good point. And regarding how it all works, definitely there's a lot more information on how the corruption and string pulling puppeteering of the masses works. I actually go really deep into a lot of that psychology in the logical psychology playlist that you guys can check out as well. Yeah, I need to do another Eddie Bravo interview soon too. But yeah, thanks again everybody for joining us. If you want to help support the podcast, you can donate to our PayPal. Check the link in the description. Make sure to subscribe, like, and share. Twitter, Facebook, Reddit, and Patreon. This is Bruce McGuire signing off. Catch you guys next time.